Hello, my Renew fam, and welcome back to my channel where I aim to empower you to change the way you view yourself, your circumstances, and your life. In today's video, we'll be talking a little bit about mindfulness and what is mindfulness. If you've been watching my last video or follow me on social media, then you have heard me talking about my 8-week mindfulness challenge, which is a coaching course, an 8-week coaching course that teaches people the benefits of mindfulness and shows them step by step how to apply mindfulness to their specific situations. Within the challenge, we are focusing in this challenge specifically on holiday blues or winter blues. People who get deal with a lot of negative emotions around this time of the year. They may deal with depression, irritability, anger, guilt, a myriad of negative emotions. And I wanted to show people how mindfulness can help them with those negative emotions and help them manage those negative emotions by practicing mindfulness for 8 weeks. So again, it's an 8-week course where we work one-on-one with myself. We also have a live group discussions as well weekly where people can share their experiences thus far in the program. And the reason why I started this challenge is because while I was reading an article in Healthline, it talked about the benefits of mindfulness. And recent studies have shown that 8 weeks of practicing mindfulness can be just as beneficial as taking an antidepressant. The effects that mindfulness has on anxiety and depression are just as effective as taking an antidepressant. And, the article was not saying that you shouldn't take medication or that mindfulness is a replacement for medication, but it was saying that mindfulness with medication and the other things that people have going on, mindfulness has shown to be just as beneficial as taking medication. So if that study is accurate and those findings are accurate, then if a person who is depressed or have anxiety and they're taking medication and they apply mindfulness, how much more progress can they make? And even for us who may not necessarily suffer from depression or anxiety, but we deal with other types of negative emotions, how can us practicing mindfulness impact us and improve our mental, physical, and emotional well-being? Because mindfulness has been proven to help people in those areas, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. It has shown to improve a person's mental state, improve their clarity, improve their mood. And I'm like, why not give people 8 weeks of this where they're working with me one-on-one? I'm showing them again how to use it, how to apply it with their specific situation, whatever blockage that they're having, whatever event in their life that is causing negative emotions, how they can use mindfulness to combat those negative emotions. So again, that's how the challenge started, and I'm like, why not do a coaching course on this and let's teach people how to walk this out step by step for 8 weeks. So that's where the challenge came from, because mindfulness has been shown to have a lot of benefits, but some people still want to know, what is mindfulness? What does that mean? Is it positive thinking? Is it just thinking in a different perspective? What is mindfulness? So mindfulness is the ability to be fully present in the moment of what's happening right now. Being fully aware, being fully present without trying to change what is happening. And that is the basic minimal definition of what mindfulness is. Being fully present and fully engulfed in your environment and what is happening right in that moment, but you're engulfed in it without trying to change it. So you may wonder, how do we do that? How do we be in a moment and not respond to the stimuli around us? How do we not respond to the sound of the birds chirping? How do we not respond to the sound of a rock hitting the water? How do we not respond to that when our body is hearing it and we are being impacted by the stimuli around us? So there are 7 basic principles to mindfulness. So the first step in practicing mindfulness is to be non-judging. So you want to be fully present in the environment. You want to hear whatever's happening around you. You want to feel whatever's happening around you without judging or reacting to it. You don't want to react to it. You just want to feel it hear it, experience it, but you don't want to pass any judgment on it. You don't want to react to what's happening in your environment. So that's the first step to practicing mindfulness, is being non-judging. Okay? You don't want to judge what's happening. Feel it, hear it, experience it, and not react. Don't try to figure it out. Don't judge it. You want to be fully present in the moment, but you don't want to respond to what's happening in the environment. The second step to practicing mindfulness is patience. Patience is the wisdom of knowing that things unfold in their own timing. That is the concept of patience. Knowing that we don't control what's happening all the time. We want to control ourselves. We can't always control what's happening around us. And so patience is the wisdom, because there's wisdom in understanding that, as one of the Proverbs say, give me the wisdom to change the things that I can, accept the things that I can't change, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. So it's that same concept. Patience is the wisdom of knowing, what you can change and what you can't change, and accepting that things happen in their own time. Things unfold in their own time. And while we're practicing mindfulness, most times we are trying to navigate through a difficult situation. And as I said in a prior video, many times we're trying to find the answer. We're trying to work our brain to problem solve and find a solution, when sometimes it just requires a little bit of patience, waiting for the answer to come to us and not us hunting the answer down. And that's one thing about mindfulness. When you're present in the moment, you're allowing your body to feel what it wants to feel. You're welcoming your emotions. You're letting your thoughts be alive, and you're letting your thoughts wander a little bit. That is a example of practicing patience, because you're waiting for your brain to work out the answer. You're waiting for your brain to process, get whatever stress off that needs to get off, in order for it to problem solve for you, and not you trying to problem solve for it. So patience, letting things unfold at their own time. Sometimes practicing mindfulness can be a lengthy process. You may do it 15 minutes, you may do it 30 minutes, because it does take practice, but it also requires patience. The third step to mindfulness is having an open mind. We must have an open mind, an open heart when you're practicing mindfulness, because sometimes, again, as I just said, we like to feel that we're in control, we know the answers. But practicing mindfulness and having an open mind requires us to relinquish control and relinquish the fact that we think we know everything, or that we think we know the best route, that we think we know the best solution. Letting go of that and just keeping an open mind and being carefree and not getting stuck in, again, what we think we know, because sometimes that has us trapped. We think we know, and we're stuck in that point. I have the answer. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to fix this problem. I'm going to navigate this problem, when it requires, again, us to have an open mind, think outside the box. And sometimes that's hard to do when we're trying to find the answer. It's hard for us to think outside the box because we're so busy trying to fight to do it. Mindfulness calls us to rest, right? We're going to rest. We're going to practice patience, and we're going to wait for the answer. And while we're practicing patience, we're going to have an open mind. Mindfulness, step 4, is trust. Trusting your feelings, trusting your thoughts, and trusting your emotions. Trusting them enough to know that they will lead you in the direction that you need to go in this moment, because you are sorting through these emotions. You're not reacting to them. You get in trouble when you allow your emotions to control you. But in this moment, when we're practicing mindfulness, we're not allowing our emotions to control us. Instead, we are feeling them wholly, and trusting them. And trusting them to know that they're going to lead us to the root of what is happening. Because sometimes the negative emotion that we're feeling, anger, irritability, depression, sadness, sometimes there is something at the root of that. There's a feeling at the root of that, but it just comes out as anger, aggression, and depression, but that's not the root feeling. And when we're practicing mindfulness, mindfulness can help us get to the root of what we were feeling that caused or led to us feeling anxiety, that led us to feeling depressed. Maybe fear was at the root. And because we were afraid of this change that's happening in our lives, that fear brought on anxiety. That anxiety brought on uncertainty. That uncertainty brought on depression. Because your feelings are like a little roadmap, and if you follow them, they'll lead you to where you need to be when you're exploring your feelings. Not when you're reacting to your feelings. Reacting to your feelings will get you into trouble. We're not reacting to them, but we're feeling them, we're processing them, and we're trusting that whatever our feelings whatever feelings are arising, we're, again, not reacting, we're not judging them, we're being patient, we're keeping an open mind, and we're trusting the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings as they come to us. As thoughts come to us, we're thinking on those thoughts, seeing if they're valid or not. And from there, we then decide, what do we do with these feelings and what do we do with these thoughts? Which brings us to step 5 in the mindfulness process. Step 5 is non-striving. Because again, we're not trying to change it. And that's what non-striving means, not changing it. We're just feeling the emotions, we're feeling the thoughts, we're processing the thoughts, but we're not trying to change it. And when I say process, we're just letting the thoughts come to us randomly as our brain is unfolding the solution that we're trying to find. And like I said, we may be trying to say, hey, I'm just feeling really angry or upset right now. And you just know that you're in this moment and you're feeling angry, you're feeling frustrated, but you may not really know why. So in that moment, you're going to feel that frustration, whatever thoughts are coming to your mind. You may have a thought of something that happened yesterday or that happened before, something that happened, earlier that morning, but you're letting the thoughts roll off. You're not trying to change and make yourself think of anything. You're letting the thoughts come one by one. And as the thoughts come, you can think on those thoughts. This happened yesterday. And while you're thinking about it, you're thinking about how that made you feel, how it may have caused you to think about another thought that may have arose in that moment. So you're just letting your thoughts trickle. And you're letting it play out almost like a movie. You're letting your thoughts play out. You're watching it. You're kind of assessing it. You're not judging it. You're not reacting to it. But you're letting it happen and you're watching it unfold in front of you. Okay, hey, this happened. Okay, that happened. Okay, this happened. Then that happened. Then that happened. Whatever your thoughts are, you're just letting them roll. You're not trying to control what you think about. Oh, I need to think about this one thing. No, you're letting your mind just play the videotape, as I like to say. Let your mind play the videotape until it's done. Because again, you're trusting the process. You're trusting the emotions. You're not trying to be in control. Because as humans, we like to try to feel that we're in control of everything. Relinquish control. And we're going to be non-striving. We're going to let whatever we feel, if we feel a sense of overwhelming emotion, because sometimes when you're meditating, you may feel emotional. You may feel like crying. You may get angry. But you're not going to try to fight the tears and hold the tears in. Let them come out. If you feel upset, you're not going to, I don't want to do this because it's too much. And sometimes we tend to run away from our emotions when we start to feel vulnerable. But that's why it's important when you're doing mindfulness that you're in a place alone where you can be free to feel and express yourself as needed without any constraints, So when you're in that moment, you want to be non-striving. You're not trying to change what you're thinking and what you're feeling, but you want to just experience it, as I already said. You just want to experience it in that moment. Which leads to step 6, which is acceptance. Again, you're accepting however you feel in that moment. I'm upset. I feel like crying. Go ahead and cry. Let it out. Don't try to hold it in. You want to let it out. And that's accepting whatever emotions come to you. Not trying to necessarily understand them. You want to accept whatever's coming to you. And then as you're accepting what's coming to you, okay, hey, this thought came and this made me upset. Or, hey, I'm feeling upset right now and I'm thinking about this particular event. And it may be an event that you didn't think impacted you, and it probably impacted you in a whole different way that you're just now realizing that might be the root of your upset or your anger. So whatever emotion that you're feeling, you want to accept them, okay? I'm feeling angry in this moment. I'm feeling anxious in this moment. I feel like crying in this moment. You want to accept it. Again, not trying to change it, not trying to control it. You just want to accept whatever feeling that you're feeling in that moment. And that's that part of acceptance. And after you've accepted it, and a part of accepting a thought or emotion, that's kind of a little bit where that processing comes in a little bit. Because as you're accepting the emotion, you kind of begin to rationalize to see what validity does this emotion hold? What validity does this thought hold? And that leads us to step 7 of letting go. As you're feeling emotions, as thoughts are coming to you, you're then deciding, is this an emotion that I need to hold on to? Do I need to explore this emotion further? Or is it an emotion that is irrational and I need to let it go? Is this thought something that I need to pay attention to? Is this thought valid? Is this thought the root cause of what I'm feeling right now? Or is this thought irrational, which means it is a false thought. It's a negative thought. It's a thought that was built on trauma. It's a thought that was built on negative experiences, and I need to let that go. So what kind of thought is this? What kind of feeling is this? After I've sat in it, after I've accepted it, I haven't changed it. I let it roll off. I trust my emotions, and I've accepted it. Now, once I accept that this is the thing, no matter how ugly it may be, because you may realize again that this is something that you've been holding on to that you need to let go of. Or it may be the opposite, that this is something that I've been trying to block that I need to open the door and deal with. And this is an emotion that I've been trying to not deal with, but I need to let go the resistance and let the feeling come in and process it. Or, again, you need to let go of the negative or irrational thought that is causing you to feel the negative emotion, irritability, anger, depression, anxiety, sadness, guilt. Whatever that negative emotion might be, we need to accept it and let it go. Accepting it, looking at what caused it, looking at, where it might have stemmed from, and all that will come to you while you're doing your meditation and while you're quiet, because that's a part of mindfulness, meditating. Because again, you should be in a quiet space where you can hear yourself think. Some people prefer complete quiet. As I said in my last video on meditation, some people prefer complete quiet. Some people like to have music to help them stay in the moment. But whichever method you choose to use, once you're going through that process, whether it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you are letting your body and your mind do all the work, and you are a bystander. You are just watching, you are feeling, you are experiencing, you're not judging it, not trying to change it, you're trusting it and accepting it, so you can see what you need to let go of, when you need to let go of it. Hey, there's something here. Let's stay in this moment a little longer. Let's process it, then let it go. And that's what mindfulness is. And if you learn to practice mindfulness one-on-one, when it's just you, when you're out in your day-to-day walk, when you're dealing with coworkers or family and friends, you'll then know how to apply mindfulness in real time, so that you're not always being reactive to what a coworker might say, or to what a family member may say, or what a friend may say, or a frenemy may say, because some of your friends should not irritate you that much if they're your friend. But it allows you that time to learn how to manage your emotions. And when you learn how to manage your emotions in secret, when you're out in the crowd, you can do what you practice in secret. Now you can practice it in public and have a better outcome. You can deal with your emotions better. You can react to situations better. You're not flying off the handle when someone says something you don't like. You're not flying off the handle when someone brings up a situation that is unpleasant to you, because I've dealt with that in secret already. So now I can respond appropriately out in the open. Right? Now I don't have to feel guilty when someone brings this up anymore, because I dealt with this guilt in private. Now it doesn't plague me in public. I've dealt with my fear in private, so it doesn't plague me in public. Right? And so, but the work starts in a private place, We can't wait till we get into a crowd of people to try to begin working on ourselves. We begin working ourselves in private so then the results can be seen publicly. But that is what mindfulness is, and those are the 7 steps to mindfulness. So if you're not on this 8-week challenge with us and you missed out on it, it's okay. You can still practice these mindfulness tips at home. And hopefully when we have our next challenge, our 8-week challenge on mindfulness, you'll be able to join us so you can work with me one-on-one, and we can work in some groups as well, just sharing experiences. But it is private. The 8-week challenge, it is a private call, so no one knows who you are. No one has to know your name and all of that stuff, because it is via teleconference. And so the one-on-ones are done with me and you one-on-one, and then the group calls are done via teleconference, via conference call line, and I would give everyone the number to that for those that signed up. You get it in your email. So those that number is only given to those who signed up for the course and paid the registration fee for the course. So it's very private, and people like that about the course, that it's private and everyone doesn't know who they are. Some people find comfort in that. So again, mindfulness doesn't have to be a hard thing, but it does take practice. You might not successfully, achieve what you want to achieve the first time you try mindfulness, but guess what? You're going to try it again. Because again, you want to practice in private so that you can reap the rewards publicly. But that is it for this video. I hope that you learned something from this video, and I hope that you would try the tips that I did mention. If you have any comments, put them in the comment section below. Let me know, have you ever tried mindfulness? Has it worked for you? If not, what are you currently doing to help manage your negative emotions? And what can you do in the future to possibly implement mindfulness practice